time a pod restarts in Kubernetes, its IP address changes. So how do you reliably connect to it? You don't connect to a pod directly, you connect to a service. This is part 28 of the Kubernetes series. Pods come and go and their IP addresses change every time they restart. You can't hardcode a pod IP to connect to it. You need a stable endpoint that always routes to the right pod, regardless of how many times it restarts or scales. That is what a service does. Think of a service like a call center hotline. You call one number like 1800 my app. Behind that number there are 10 agents, 10 pod replicas. You never know which agent picks up. One agent goes on break, another agent takes the call. The number never changes, the agent behind it do. That's exactly how Kubernetes service works. So there are three main types of service: cluster IP, node port, and load balancer. First, the cluster IP, the default type, creates a stable internal IP address within the cluster, only accessible from within the cluster, perfect for pod-to-pod communication. Second, node port exposes the service on a static port accessible from outside the cluster using any node IP addresses and the assigned port. Load balancer used in cloud environment like AWS, Azure. Kubernetes provision an external load balancer automatically and assigns a public IP address. All external traffic goes through the load balancer, which distribute it across your pods. This is the production way to expose your apps to the internet. All the code details are on YouTube community post. Please don't forget to check it out. Let's copy the content of deployment.yml. Okay, now in demo.sh, so it's applied. The pod is running now. So we have created our Nginx deployment with two replicas. Our cluster IP service is called as my cluster IP service, and the selector is app my app. It routes to any pod with this label, and port 80 is the service port that client connect to. Target port 80 is the container port that traffic is forwarded. Let's apply the cluster service created. Cluster IP has an internal IP only reachable from inside the cluster. So this is our node port service.yml. So node port service name is my node port service. Same selector, same port, but there is a node port which exposes on port 30,080 on every node. So node port service created. Let's get that. Kube control get service. Can you see the port column? So the node port which is assigned here is 30,080. Minikube service URL. This command gives us the URL to access this service from our browser or terminal. This is node port in action. Node IP plus the static port give you the external access. Can you see? So the key takeaway from today's session is cluster IP is used for internal pod-to-pod communication. Node port is for the external access during development. Load balancer is production external access in cloud environments. That's all for today. I hope you understand services now. Please subscribe me on YouTube as well. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Follow for more.